Hello guys, welcome back to Brad's Workbench. I have something interesting to show you. It's something I threw together in a few days and I just took a few pictures, snapped it together. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from it, so I figured I'd show you what's going on and explain what I'm building and what it's going to be used for. So recently I started getting into photography and stuff like this. I'm more in depth with doing it with the ArduCam, which is, special Raspberry Pi stuff, and Arduino stuff. So I decided to put together a star tracker. Well, I started researching into star trackers, and there was a few out there already. And so it really grabbed my attention to where it really helped get really good in-depth photography of the sky at night. There's a lot of software out there that will layer after layer, like Bob Ross would do. He'll put layer after layer after layer. So that's exactly what the stitching does. Is it compiles an image, and you can see the whole nebula after like 500 images, or I don't know how many. We'll figure that out. On that Raspberry Pi lens that I was showing you, which is this one. So this thing is gonna go on here somehow. Haven't figured that out, but it's gonna rotate with this joker, and I'm gonna get it to track the sky. So that's what I'm actually gonna be using it for. Well, also I could use it for other things. I could use it as a pan, tilt, roll gimbal for time-lapse photography. So one of the projects I have coming up is I have this 1 meter 2040 European rail, and I have, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. And then I have this, so that way I can attach this to that rail, and then I can attach this guy to the rail, and then I can have it move really slow. Yeah, that direction. So that will make the time lapse more interesting. So that's one of the projects I have coming up, is building a camera slider. Not particularly for this, but in general a camera slider. But it's gonna be a really, really cheap build. I don't know how much weight it's gonna be able to support, or if I need to get a gearbox for the motor to make it support weight over a belt-driven system. Because the idea is to be able to chain in the future, chain two of these together and have a 2 meter long time, a long view of the time lapse. To have it where you can go faster and you get a more of a better perspective of your time lapse. It's all about the perspective. So for this, the reason why I'm making the video now is, I already put it together. I was streaming on Facebook, putting it together originally, and went through a couple of iterations on distance and what I could do. I had metal pulley on here, and I realized that, well, maybe I can make it lighter and spin better and stuff like that. And this is what I got so far. As you can tell, it's pretty accurate. This is the fastest speed that I can get it to go. So this is model 0A, or 0B because of the other parts over there. So 0C is going to switch to something bigger. So yeah, we can go all the way around one of these. So I can stick one of these in here and have it rotate somehow. Maybe. I don't know how I'm really going to do it. I might just make the platform bigger and this side here bigger. Keep this the same. Really depends on where this takes me. I have to design models and get this thing to where it's belt driven. It's a pretty smooth bearing, so barely any, there is play, so that's gonna, you know, have to be addressed in some way. But if I had belt tension on it, it's probably not going to be too bad. So let's just hope for the best with that. Let me see. What else do I have to say about this? So I have 3 motors currently. The ratio is about 4 1/4 to 1 currently. And that's if I keep with this design. If I go with this, it's gonna make it where it's like 9 to 1. It's gonna definitely make it double or more. What else? So I was thinking on this next one, if I did do it on the side here, actually, see if I can get it all the way around. So ooh. Am I doing it? Yeah. So this thing can really go all the way around it. That's how much plays in between. This doesn't really have too much play, this one, but it doesn't have any weights yet, so the motor hasn't really bound up on me, so there's really not too much play on this one. This one has a slight bit of play. The bottom one definitely has a lot of play. I'm gonna have to work on that. I'm gonna have to get it to where it's stiff. What I was thinking is a belt tensioner, because if I put pressure on here, a lot of the play goes away. Yeah. 90% of the play goes away. Alright, let's get this thing back off. Get this back into position because I have not done any programming on this. I just have it to where I figured out the rotation and how many steps and stuff like that. So I'm going to slightly get this back into rotation. The only one that concerns me is this one axis right here, because it's the only one that will touch. It has to be a little bit more than 90 degrees. Actually, this one might touch, but if I do it just right, it won't. Alright, let's plug it back in. But so far it's really accurate. It goes exactly into the same positions every time. So that's a plus. So let's get this to where it's not touching with anymore. I'm probably just gonna do the 2 axes with the big ones and see where that takes me. Because I already know that this is working really relatively well so far. And that's pretty much it for this project that I'm working on. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff about this particular one, because I plan on upgrading it and trying to get it to where it's actually tracking the sky in some sort of way, even if it's just low res stuff, you know. Eventually we'll get into using a bigger optic Let me see what optic I have. I have a couple. This is the normal Canon lens. So I have this. It's a Canon lens. And it's also a macro 300 mil. That's my cat making noises. That's a 300 mil. That chip you see, that's just a lens protector. Thank God for that. So enjoy the rest of your YouTube experience. Have a good afternoon, morning, and evening, and good night.